Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Happy holidays. It is the Christmas season. We are in December, and I apologize first off for just being so tardy and late with another episode for the Loch's Nest Collection channel. I really wanted to get around to doing a lot of collection videos, but you guys know how it is. Sometimes work and life just gets in the way. But I decided to pull out all of my Sega Saturn and Sega CD games along with the consoles that I do have to show you what I have in my collection. Now this video is going to be a lot shorter and it's not going to have as much information because I encourage you guys to go do your own research and also go check out videos that are more dedicated to each system. I will talk a little bit about them, release date, etc. But basically this is just showing you what's in my collection because after all, this is what the entire channel is about. The games that are in my collection. So we're going to start with the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn was released in North America in 1995. I was 14 years old and I was lucky enough to get one of these because my older cousin actually bought one and he kind of had some legal trouble, so I got this from him for $75 a few months after its release. It was released also in Japan a few months earlier, I think 1994. The Japanese one is in gray and the North American one is in black. I like both consoles and I'm very happy to have both of them. I only have one Japanese game which I cannot read when I boot it up. Some interesting things about the Sega Saturn. There was about 100 games released for it in the library. It lasted till 1998, 1999. It was in direct competition with some heavy hitters and Sega was starting to go on the decline. I also like that there was a RAM memory card accessory slot up at the top. You could upgrade your memory, kind of like the Nintendo 64 where you had to have your RAM for stronger games that had more music, audio files, faster gameplay, etc. Also with the Sega Saturn, I think there was 4 or 5 different controllers you could have. I only have the regular 6-button Sega Genesis style controllers, but again, a very interesting console to have, and now we'll take a look at the games that I own. So the first one I want to show you guys is Panzer Dragoon. Not Panzer Dragoon Saga, the really sought after one, but still a very fun rail shooter style where you ride a dragon. I enjoy this one a lot. Sonic 3D Blast. Sonic games are a staple for every Sega system. Daytona USA, the music was a little off for this one, but it was off the arcade game Daytona, and I'd be hard-pressed to find anyone in my age group, older or younger, all around, I'd say 25 to 40, that hasn't played this game in the arcade. I was a really big wrestling fan back in the day. I actually bought this brand new. This is Acclaim's WWF In Your House, and it has that Mortal Kombat style graphics. This was also an arcade game. NBA Live 97. I've never actually played this game. The graphics look pretty good, but, you know, honestly, I just picked this up because it was only $2 and it's a Sega Saturn game. An incredibly underrated game. Not a lot of people talk about this. I actually just saw Sean Long do a review on this game, which is kind of weird because I started filming this while I was watching that, and this is Enemy Zero. This is a big game, Resident Evil style, without actually copying it. If you haven't played this game, check out some reviews, and if you can get your hands on it without spoiling it, Enemy Zero is a game that every retro gamer should play. Any gamer, for that fact. Jurassic Park: The Lost World. You know, honestly, it wasn't a great game, but just the way the artwork looks, I don't know, I love this case. You know, and speaking of the cases, this is something that like really draws the eye. They were big CD cases. They had a nice graphic on them. They had the end labels, the side labels. They look great on a shelf. I really enjoy the way these look. This is NHL 97, and of course you got John Van Beesbrook from the Florida Panthers on the cover. That was the year that they made it to the finals, but they lost to the Avalanche. Sega Sports World Series Baseball, you got Mike Piazza on the cover as a Dodger. The graphics are pretty good, they do hold up, and I actually enjoy this game. This is one of the better baseball games. This is a Working Designs game, Dragon Force for the Sega Saturn. This is billed as a strategy/RPG game. It came with a fairly sizable book, which I can't find right now. It's somewhere buried in the closet in one of my storage bins. But this game was really good. Like, I'm not huge on anime-style RPGs, but this was something back in the 90s. You can't have the Sega Saturn without having Virtua Fighter 2. Not much I can say about this except that it's really enjoyable. Obviously it didn't stand up to the test of time, but still really enjoyable playing, and you gotta have this in your collection. Iron Man Exo Man-O-War in heavy metal. This was one of the old Acclaim games. Another one that had that kind of Mortal Kombat stylistic gameplay. Truth be told, I've only seen reviews of this. I've never actually played it because this game doesn't work. And last, to round out the Saturn collection, this is a combo pack: Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Cop, and Daytona USA. I actually got this from my cousin that I mentioned earlier. This, I think, was a pack-in or something that just came out at the same time in Canada with the Sega Saturn, and it's still got its plastic on it, like over 95% of it, for over 20 years. I've never played this because I had Virtua Fighter 2 and Daytona USA already. Even back then when I was like a 14, 15-year-old kid, I just left the wrapper on it. You can see the box has taken a beating over the years, but this is, I'm not sure if it was a giveaway at stores or what it was. I never really did a lot of research, so that'll be our comment of the week, guys. If you know anything about this combo pack, let me know down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. And again, this is my Sega Saturn I've had for over 20 years. My memory card plus still works, although the stickers have, torn off. But this is a great console. I really enjoy it. I'm a Sega fan as much as I am a Nintendo fan. I would say 51% to 49%, almost down the middle. And the Japanese gray one with the blue buttons, very nice aesthetic. I like the way it looks. Same weight. It also comes with the RAM backup cart, and the only game that I have for it that I tried to play, but it was just completely all text, at least as much as I tried to get through of it. It's called Forever With You. This was packed in as a lot. I picked this up when buying video games on eBay was easy and accessible, maybe 6-7 years ago. And then moving right along to the next system is going to be our Sega CD. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a Sega CD. I don't have either attachments for the Genesis 1 or the Model 2. I never got my hands on a CDX. Luckily, I found at a flea market way back in 2007 or 8 a JVC XI. Now, the XI was built to play Genesis games, Sega CD games, and it was also billed as a karaoke machine, CD player, etc. Now, this had a hefty price when it came out. I was lucky enough to find this for about $30. The guy thought it was a Genesis, and his son thought it was a CD player, so I lucked out finding this. And what's even better is it still works today. I've heard horror stories how this thing kind of dies, and you have to be really good at rebuilding on the inside. The power cord is something hard to find that has to be exclusive for this. Again, I was very lucky to have all of the pieces that came with it. I got a controller with it and a few games, and again, this is something that I'm very happy to have in my system. Again, the XI is a little more sought after as a collectible for console collectors now, but at the time I just picked this up because I wanted to play some Sega CD games. Now, the Sega CD came out in 1992 in North America, I believe, and it lasted till about 96 or 97. I remember it was dying out when I was finishing up high school. So, to start off, these are a couple of the pack-in games that came with different systems during different iterations of its life. So, this is Sonic CD, and this one was, I believe, a pack-in with the one that comes with the attachment for the Model 2. I'm not sure how I got my hands on this, but I might have found it again at a flea market with just regular CDs. Another interesting thing, there are a few of these, there's different variants. This is the two that I have. This is Echo the Dolphin, and on the back it comes with Sega Classics. You get Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, Golden Axe, and Super Monaco GP. And the second variation I have is Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. And again, it comes with the back, the same thing, the double disc of Sega Classics. Again, with the same 4 games packed in. So, moving right along, this is Rocket Science Games. This is Lodestar, The Legend of Tully Bodine. So this is when they started doing the full movie quality screen CD, you know, like when it looked like garbage. But at the time, it seemed pretty cool. If you can't think of what it looks like, if you've never played these games, if you're a little younger, try and picture like what the internet first looked like, how it was like really pixelated. This is what it was. Full motion video is what they called it though. The original Mortal Kombat. This one I still play today. This is as close to the arcade feel as I can get, especially with the 6-button controller. Really fun, and it does have the blood in it. Oh. Ground Zero Texas. It's billed as an interactive movie. It claims to have over 100 minutes of video game action. So imagine that, they're telling you there's only 100 minutes of video game action. This is a rail shooter that you use the zapper for, but you can use the controller, and that's the only way I've ever played it. I don't think I made it past like the second scenario. Wing Commander, the 3D Space Combat Simulator by Electronic Arts. This is the one that's got live action in it again, and Luke Skywalker's in it. Pretty cool. Wheel of Fortune. Honestly, guys, this is a pretty good drinking game. Boot this sucker up and have fun with the guys. Or gals. There's Vanna. Bram Stoker's Dracula. It claims to have digitized video from the movie, and man is it pixelated. It's choppy, it's slow. Honestly, if you want to play a Dracula game, you don't want to play this one. Tomcat Alley, another interactive movie. Right on the front, see, it's all video action. Full screen interactive movie. Jet fighter combat. If you could find it for a few dollars, grab it, but, you know, you get bored of it quick. Look what I forgot to show you. NHL 98, this is on the Saturn. This was a fantastic game on the Sega Saturn. I had mentioned, maybe like a year ago, when we used to go on hockey trips, we'd always designate one person to bring some games and a system, and we'd all take turns playing. And NHL, any iteration from like 92 to 99, we played the hell out of. Really fun game. You got Forsberg on the cover. Next, Pugsy. I can't really speak about it because it didn't work, so I can't play it. And last, kind of an oddity for my collection, this is a Sega CD 32X combo. This was Corpse Killer. I've seen a couple of reviews on it. It's a rail shooter. You're in the Caribbean or Jamaica or something, and there's a bunch of zombies that you gotta shoot. Can't really speak more to it because I don't have the wire right now for my 32X. So I can't put it into my XI, so I can't play it. Damn it! And that's going to do it for my Sega CD and Sega Saturn collection, guys. Thanks a lot for sticking around with the Loch's Nest collection channels. I've seen incredible heights for this channel that I haven't really done a lot with. It went up to almost 100 subscribers without me trying, and now we kind of fell back down to 70, but that's my fault, not yours, because I've been half-assing it. I haven't been putting out a lot of content, so I'm going to try and at least give you one video a month. I know that's a stretch because I've said that before, but I'm trying my best. You know, I've got the 2 channels going, and now I'm on VidMe, and I want to start doing some exclusive videos for that. So, you know, if you feel like it, you can go check me out there too. But as always, I do appreciate you checking out this episode. Let me know down in the comments, how do you feel about the Saturn, the Sega CD? Did you have it? Did you play it? Is there any cool collectibles that you have? Did I mess up on any information? Do you have some information to share with me? Am I talking too much? Alright guys, I'm out of here. Take care. Happy holidays.